All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Absolutely no trouble moving the ball on the ground on the first 2 plays from scrimmage.
Absolutely. You know what I really like? Same guy carrying the ball both plays, and what drives me crazy is when a back has a nice run, he taps his helmet to go out of the game. I would want the ball again and again and again because you've established really nice momentum, and now you're seeing the field really well.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Hurts. This is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you, and you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. This time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, this defense for the Eagles, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They go play action. Cousins. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And it's 3rd and 4. You look at this Eagle defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be number 1 and be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really have something to talk about.
That's the challenge. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well? Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. Running free at the 45. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a...
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Play action now. Cousins. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Jordan Addison, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are an extra point away from drawing level. Joseph connects on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect? Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Following the interception, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson. And that'll bring up second down. You look at this Eagle defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently second best in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's try to get to that number 1 spot.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On third down, Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports.
Tiger Hornet. King, Phil King. Phil King. Hey, Silver.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles have regained the lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. Well, let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. Here's a give to Madison running right. Pushes past him. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That was huge after being behind the chains on first down to make this second very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on first down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on second down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. On play action, Cousins. That's complete to K.J. Osborne. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Rather quietly, Osborne has become a relied-upon presence in Minnesota. 650 yards each of the last 2 seasons, due for an even bigger role for them in 2023.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And this is incomplete. He had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Cousins again. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
On third down, they run with Madison. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Joseph is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Now this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown, and their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second down, here's Hurts. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Here's Hurts to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Aaron Siposs on to punt for Philadelphia. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2, so I would agree with you totally on that.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And this will be a Vikings 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, having back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Cousins now. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Cousins. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 44-yard line. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. play fake. Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback.
Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. But first down, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Hurts sets up to throw it. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Draw play, Madison, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Here's Allen. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room.
We're just about ready to get back to football.
Orlando
So for the call
Jonathan
of the second half,
at
we get
REA
back up
Sports
to
Halftime
Philadelphia.
Report. Coach.
And Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down at 7. Cousins to throw it. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll send Brown in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. And he powers his way up past the 30. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
It's a gain of 5.
Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
63,
They'll set up to throw. He gets it complete to Jackson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. In motion left is Watkins. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. On this one, may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. And Marcus Davenport, former Saint, in on the stop there.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. Hurts. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Oh, the sneak. It's Hurts. And, boy, that's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down.
I think in this situation, all you want to do is make sure your guys are set up front. No one jumps, no penalties. Sometimes you don't even call cadence, just go and pick it up.
Yeah, because it's on them. I mean, the quarterback's job's pretty easy there.
It really is. You talk about inches, just go get it.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action. Here's Hurts. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Stever.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They go play action. Cousins. Swipe, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Cousins. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Returnable now for Allen. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. It's caught. Smith. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the 1st down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at him, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. Well, it's caught on the right side of Smith. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Marcus Davenport from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Joejuan Williams down the right sideline. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, it's one thing to get the interception, and it was a great play, but then you saw how quickly all of his teammates, Charles, turned to find blocks, made sure they had space for him to make the house call.
And not only did they turn and find the blocks, none of them clipped from behind, blocked someone in the back. This play is going to stand. And how about what we see each and every week now? When the defenders make a big play, there's always a group celebration after the takeaway.
So the Vikings bringing the offense back onto the field. They'll go for 2 here. Following the interception, Cousins. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A 2-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. And a nice gain at 21 yards. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Hey, easy, 63, bang.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on second down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Going deep here for Watkins. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. And even 100 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. On play action, Cousins. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
They'll go Madison up the middle. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Cousins. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On third down, Cousins. That's complete to Chandler on the check down. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle. A 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
It's a gain of 4 there and gives him a new set of downs. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 113 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Josh Jacobs, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Cousins is going to take this one down to a knee and end it. Good bounce back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
I've been smooth for so long, I'm trying to get rough. Buffing my nails, dog, I'm trying to get buff. Shaping my beard up, I'm liking the scruff. The hills, cause I'm living my life in the cut. Can't imagine that I'm gonna meet my wife in the club. We going